people are layering their skin with toner, moisturizer, sunscreen, then hyaluronic acid, then glycolic acid. Because Instagram said so, Facebook said so, friends said so, so I started using.
So, what is a safe self-care routine without naming any products, but if you can tell us about the ingredients?
Fundamental principle is keep your skin clean, moisturize, and protect.
So, what sunscreens are, beneficial, Dr. Lohra?
SPF, which is sun protection factor, it should be more than 30. It should be water resistant. Anything which is more than PA 3 plus or anything which is more than 3-star rating is good for us.
Scrubs, as you mentioned, are they even required at all for the facial skin?
Rice scrub, sugar scrub, besan scrub. Basically, your kitchen pantry is not your pharmacy. You can't just use everything and anything on the skin.
Pigmentation, you mentioned different colored skin patches. So, is it related to skin damage alone, or are there other factors in play? Hello everyone, this is Khushbu Agarwal, founder at Zyla Health. Today I'm delighted to introduce to you the very popular, very loved Dr. Manmohan Lohra, senior dermatologist with over 2 decades of experience practicing at Max Gurgaon and Doctors Point Gurgaon. Dr. Lohra, what a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Our team has been, after Dr. Lohra to get him on Conversations with Zyla, given he's really known for clinical dermatology and the science behind skin issues rather than just the superficial or the aesthetic aspects of dermatology. Dr. Lohra has graduated from the prestigious Maulana Azad Medical College, New Delhi, and his expertise lies in clinical derma, hair disorders, acne, pigmentation, and other day-to-day concerns we face with our skin. So, Dr. Lohra, today we'll talk everything about the science of skin health, and we'd really like to start with the fact that you were telling me that the awareness as well as the skin problems in a city like Gurgaon and other tier 1 cities are rising rapidly. So, what is really the cause of this rise in skin health issues?
Okay. Over a period of years of my practice, what I have come to realize is that as the awareness increases and access to healthcare services improves, people start paying attention to things which they might not have been paying attention to in the past. And with the advent of social media, people are now more aware of things that affects them, both in terms of internal as well as external. And skin being the largest system and most visible system of the body, people are now paying attention to it.
Right.
And with the kind of lifestyle that these days we have, we are coming across a lot of both cosmetic as well as clinical dermatological issues. And with increase in stress, environmental factors, sleep issues, both stress related dermatology issues like psoriasis, they are increasing. Vitiligo, which was infrequent in the past, is increasing. And now with the social media, Instagram and all that, people are aware that yes, they need to look good. So the desire to have a so-called flawless skin, glass skin is increasing. So people are paying more attention to acne, pigmentation, age-related issues. So definitely consultations are increasing, and at times people are coming with issues which are in a way affecting them mentally, socially. So it's definitely, we are coming across a lot
Got it.
more issues than what we used to 10 years back.
Right. And if I had to ask you, Dr. Lohra, of the top 2 concerns you see most commonly in your practice, and usually what it boils down to in terms of root causes, what would that be?
So I will divide it into basically age brackets. So with the Gurgaon especially, where a young population is a lot of people working in corporates, acne, pigmentation and supposedly age-related changes are common in what we call as a cosmetic dermatology. Psoriasis and pigmentary issues or lichen planus kind of things are more frequently seen than what we used to see in the past, again related to lifestyle issues. So these are the things which are commonly encountered.
Right. And have you also seen cases increasing in the younger population or kids?
Yes, because the kids do not have the lifestyle what they used to have 10 years, 15 years back. These days, kids are exposed more to stresses, both academic as well as the social. The kids are more exposed to social media. Even the kids in schools have access to gadgets. So, as a consequence of which, the uh, desire to look good has gone up in teens also. Pre-teens also are coming, when even like parents are coming with girls of 13, 14 years of age. Okay, my daughter is not feeling okay, she's kind of depressed, she's not going out. Boys at age of 4, 15 coming with, "Mm, I'm having hair loss, my face is not good, my eyebrows are not right," so those kind of things. So yes, we are seeing a surge in these diseases which actually were not paid attention to in the past, but with the increase in awareness, both positive way and in the negative way also, because I would say negative because it is influencing or it is kind of affecting them emotionally also.
The self esteem.
Yes, because once the child starts having that kind of thoughts, it starts affecting his academic performance, his social interaction. And when we talk to psychologists, they are also talking about the same thing. The number of kids coming to them with emotional issues has gone up. And there's a lot to do with how they feel themselves about it, how they look themselves in the mirror. So yes, in Gurgaon, especially the bigger cities which have more access to social media, peer pressures, yes, it's happening, and it's happening at a big way.
So, Dr. Lohra, now talking about the clinical causes of some of these issues. I know, because I've met you multiple times in the past, you're a big ambassador of what we eat, the protein intake we have. So, how does that relate to the root causes of these skin health issues?
So when we talk of clinical causes of these disorders, it involves everything. It involves from morning to night, how you live your life. Night, when you how you sleep. So everything is affecting human body. So your waking up time, your ensuring you follow a circadian rhythm, ensuring your waking up time is same on all 7 days, that helps in regulating your hormones. Then what you eat, a balanced diet has always been kind of an important aspect of well-being, of overall health. So if your diet is not comprehensive, including everything, it eventually is going to affect the system. And when it comes to distribution of resources, body has its own priority sets. Body has to take care of the core first, the brain, heart, liver, kidney, general day-to-day well-being. Breaking down of the tissue needs to be repaired. Once everything has been taken care of, then body starts taking care of the skin. Day-to-day environmental factors, like when we go out in Gurgaon, like the kind of AQI that we are having, obviously it is affecting lungs. When the lungs get affected, everything gets affected, because if you're not getting a clean air, how the body will repair itself? The environmental factors creating a lot of tissue breakdown, it eventually affects every system in the body, be it your blood pressure, it goes up, your chances of sugar goes up, your skin disorders definitely will go up, because eventually body has a capacity to repair itself, but beyond that it can't go. Its limitations are there, and once the body starts to get into a breakdown mode, until unless a balanced lifestyle is not achieved, we can't go back to a healthy well-being.
Great. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Lohra. So, we'll cover some tactical toolkits with Dr. Lohra now. Meanwhile, if the audience has any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat box. We will try to take a few now, and my team will address the rest. So, Dr. Lohra, we floated some questions before, we met today to understand what sort of queries our audience and our, users have for you.
Happy to help.
The number one being around sun damage to skin and how to protect it. On one side, sun is important for vitamin D, otherwise you end up with vitamin D deficiencies. On the other side, we say that, sun damages the skin. So, what is the balance and how to protect?
Okay. So sun has always been the life giver. Okay. The life cannot be imagined on earth without sun, because the sun is there, the plants are there, then the whole cycle starts. But at the same time, the ubiquitous UV light that's there with the sunlight has its own issues. The complete spectrum from ultraviolet to infrared has an impact on skin, which is the largest system of the body. So UV light does cause a lot of damage, as it goes like UVA, UVB, UVC, different wavelengths have different energy levels, and it's a common scientific mnemonic that UVA, A causes aging, B causes burn, C causes cancer. Fortunately, ozone layer filters it out for us. Both A and B, although it is very simplification that A causes aging or B causes burns, but it is they overlap. They cause both. A able to penetrate to a deeper plane, yes, definitely has to do more with the tissue damage, aging. B, working at the superficial skin level is more to do with the burns, pigmentary changes, but both eventually cause damage to the body's immune system, surface immune system, which actually helps in taking care of a lot of environmental exchanges. And both of these rays actually lead to production of a lot of free radicals, and free radicals have been known to cause issues in the immune system and changes in the DNA. And once the DNA changes start happening, a lot of things can go wrong. The superficial most cells which get exposed, they, when their damaged DNA is interacting with immune system, body breaks them down. These are defenses which have evolved over year of thousands and thousands of years, which in a way have protected us from skin cancers. We are colored people, our skin has color, and that in a way helps us protecting ourselves from the skin cancers. But if the extended duration of UVA and UVB exposure is there, then that defense gets weakened. And the immune system is not able to protect us from the UVA, UVB induced damage. And yes, skin cancer can evolve, although colored skin have much less instances, but it's always there. And then aging, yes, the tissue damage which happens because of the breakdown of collagen, elastin, which leads to loss of basic elasticity, which we call it as solar elastosis, pigmentation, breakdown, desquamation, or like peeling of the skin, which we kind of call as sunburn, okay, which is more often in people who are not going out, not having adequate or regular exposure, or not taking care of skin in terms of protective clothing, sunscreen. So yes, UVA, UVB, and fortunately UVC, both and all these three rays are definitely in a way causing problems, but they are there. So lifestyle changes, protection, they can help us in taking care of these things.
Right.
Sun is there, it will always be there. We have to be careful.
Right. So, what sunscreens are beneficial, Dr. Lohra? How much and when to apply? What is the science behind this?
Okay. So sunscreen, yes, around 20 years, 25 years back when we started practicing, it was something which was there, it was taught, it was used, but in last one decade we have seen increased awareness and uses, and obviously with increased cosmetic companies coming into play, social media coming into play, awareness is increased, which in a way is good. People know, yes, there is something called a sunscreen and it should be used.
Right.
So when we kind of talk of sunscreen, there are few points that we need to kind of look into. SPF, which is sun protection factor, it should be more than 30. And there are certain other ratings which are there which actually help us decide a sunscreen for colored skin. PA ratings, which is a kind of a British rating, Japanese rating, Boot Star rating. These are ratings which are standardized rating which help us guide the kind of sunscreen that we need to use. So anything which is more than PA3 plus or anything which is more than 3-star rating is good for us. We should be looking for broad spectrum. Why we need broad spectrum? It means it covers both UVA, UVB.
Okay.
It should be water resistant. There's nothing like waterproof. So anything which kind of gives us a water resistance of 40 minutes or 80 minutes of sweating or swimming is good enough. And quantity, frequency. These are the two other important aspects which we have to kind of look into sunscreen. Quantity means it should be optimum. a less quantity of sunscreen is actually more harmful. It gives you a false sense of protection. That false sense of protection, you tend to take more chances with the sun. So you'd like to have more chances of burns or allergies. Application frequency is primarily dependent on the quantum of light that is falling on your skin. So if you are in a very brightly lit area, brightly lit sun area, very clear sky, high UV index, yes, the frequency might vary 1 hour, 2 hours, depending on the light falling on your skin. And it's not so that if you have a cloudy day or foggy day, you don't need sunscreen. You need it. You need it on that day also, because UVA, being a longer wavelength, is still able to reach.
Right.
Cloudy day, until unless the clouds are very very dense fog, yes, the need for reapplication might reduce, but still be there if you are really looking at a good protection. And of lately, increase in mineral sunscreens, they are actually very good, because instances of allergic reactions with mineral sunscreen are far too less. Then these days we are hearing a lot about blue light. So when it comes to blue light is ubiquitous. Even indoors, all electronic gadgets emit UV light. These LED lights, they have a lot of blue light in them. So blue light spectrum doesn't create discomfort. Like the heat triggers a discomfort. Blue light doesn't create that palpable discomfort. So we are not actually kind of much concerned about, because it doesn't affect us physically. But in long run, it affects a lot, because that blue light in a way leads to deeper penetration. That deeper penetration, because of the long wavelength, deeper penetration means more damage to the deeper collagen.
Got it.
So gradual increase in the pigmentary response, because eventually it will lead to inflammation. That inflammation will trigger more color. So what we encounter is more dyschromias. Dyschromias means not having a uniform skin. There are certain areas which have more color, there are areas which have less color. So blotchiness start coming into picture. Aging comes into picture. So these are the things. Although in ancient times the blue light, and these days also, blue light is positive also. But the negative aspect can't be overlooked. And physical sunscreen, which contains zinc oxide, titanium oxide, iron oxides, they are able to provide protection against UV, this blue light rather.
Right.
So conventional sunscreens are not able to provide as much protection against UV, this blue light, as compared to physical. So whenever we are looking at sunscreen, there should be an inclusion of zinc oxide, titanium oxide, and iron oxide, because iron oxide gives a tint to the sunscreen. So we are colored people. In our skin, if the sunscreen has a little bit of iron oxide or titanium oxide, it gives a tint. So it doesn't create a mask like faces, which at times leads to less uses of sunscreen. Less uses means more problems.
Got it. So when you said mineral rich, it meant this.
Yes, mineral.
The iron.
Physical, yes.
Yes.
Mineral, iron, zinc and titanium oxides, these are mineral rich and they do help.
Got it. So is it right to say then, Dr. Lohra, that whether you're indoors or outdoors, a daily application of sunscreen is important and may be required more frequently if you're out in the sun for a longer duration, correct?
Definitely. Indoors, that's what I'm saying, like blue light.
Yes.
It's more indoors as compared to outdoors.
Of course.
And we are not actually getting physically affected. So we are less likely to pay attention to it. So if you are really into skincare, if you really want to protect yourself, yes, indoors or outdoors, sunscreen uses is mandatory.
Right. We'll keep taking some questions which we're getting on the segments we're covering, Dr. Lohra. And a key one I get here from few people is, do men and children also need to apply sunscreen? I think some myths to be busted there.
Sunscreen is a friend of skin. Yes. If we really want to delay every possible damage that can happen to the skin, sunscreen uses is mandatory, be it men or kids. Kids actually, if you look at it, need more protection because of the thin of skin and less likely to be taking care of outdoors. And in kids, I advise primarily mineral sunscreens because the chances of any kind of allergic reaction happening there is far too less as compared to with the chemical sunscreen. And they if applied properly, they last longer because they absorb as well at the same time reflect the light also. So the spectrum that is covered by mineral sunscreens is better, and the safety is more ensured when it comes to mineral sunscreen, because in chemical based sunscreen there are always a chances of allergic reactions. Majority of the population doesn't react, but immune system is funny, it can at times react. So in kids, mineral sunscreen. Men, vanity is like not something which is determined by the sex. Men, women both have to have it. And these days, men are concerned about their skincare. Sunscreen uses in men is definitely increasing, and it should be done.
Right. And in kids, at what age should one start?
FDA says beyond 6 months it can be used if the kid is getting exposed.
Okay.
If we are not able to block the light reaching the kid's skin physically by protective clothing, it can be used.
Great. I think a big myth busted there, Dr. Lohra. You're saying any age above 6 months is FDA recommended if the kid is exposed to
Yes,
sunscreen
if you really
properly.
want to protect, and if your kid has sensitivity,
Right.
protect. It's best to protect.
Right. Great. Dr. Lohra, you covered an aspect here, which was pigmentation. You mentioned different colored skin patches in different, areas of the skin. And we have seen that, in India specifically, we see dark patches around the forehead, some around the mouth, neck, very common, especially as you age, right? So is it related to skin damage alone, or are there other factors in play?
Okay, skin color is actually in India is a pervasive concern. Everybody is concerned in one way or the another. So when we talk of skin color or hyperpigmentation, as we call it,
Right.
pigmentation, we are pigmented, we are colored people, we are not whites. So hyperpigmented areas are primary concern. So when we talk of color causation, so metabolic factors, nutritional factors, genetic factors, environmental factors, all these things contribute to different pigmentary dyschromias that we see on face or different parts of the face specifically. So pigmentation specifically around neck, in underarms, thigh folds, around temples has increased. Why? Because we are seeing more insulin resistance. The lifestyles that we are having, the kind of food that we are consuming, the kind of sleep habits that we are having is leading to more body fat, more steroid production in the body to handle the day-to-day stresses that we have, because more steroid production to combat the stress leads to a lot of metabolic changes in the body. That leads to more fat deposition in the body, that leads to more insulin production, and that increased insulin in way increases color production by stimulating melanocytes and increased thickness. If you observe, you will find that in people who have insulin resistance, they have thicker neck skin, they have thicker temple skin. Why? Because the insulin is changing the way skin behaves.
Right.
Insulin has a lot of other aspects in the body. It affects lipid profile, it affects the way our hunger pangs are manifested, how frequently we feel hungry, how frequently we feel drained, because as soon as the body gets some calories, it gets converted into fat, your blood sugar again goes down. You again look for quick fixes, and majority of the times quick fixes are sugary foods or high calorie foods because brain needs its food. But this leads to more pigmentary changes, more obesities in females, the advent of PCOS, which used to be infrequent 15, 20 years back. These days, it's very frequent. Youngsters, young girls coming with PCOD, leading to more facial hair, body hair, period changes happening in people working in corporates, late night work, night shifts. Everything is changing the way our metabolism is getting affected. And skin being the largest system of the body is something which shows it the most. Pigmentation around the mouth, okay, commonly encountered. A lot of people are concerned. They come with this, okay, that is genetically governed. Nutritional factors, vitamin B absorption, B12 absorption, vitamin D. The deficiency of vitamin D is kind of endemic. Everybody has it. There are a lot of factors. Yes, environmental pollution, less exposure to UV light is reducing vitamin D. And when the vitamin D, B12 go down, they change the metabolism. Pigmentation increases. Genetics, yes, it has always been there. But genetics in a way will affect metabolism. Genetics will in a way affect how your body processes nutrition. Eventually it will affect our skin. So pigmentation on skin is multifactorial.
Got it. So if someone has such an issue, Dr. Laura, I'm guessing, they should also have their latest blood test reports. Their dietary recall must be discussed to actually get to the root cause before just getting to application of, an ointment or a cream.
So pigmentation treatment is actually a big industry. It is being driven by the cosmetology companies also. Cosmetics, day in, day out, social media, everything, everybody is talking about fair skin, brighter skin. So a lot of treatments have come into play, both clinic driven, home driven, everything. But until unless we are not targeting the root causes,
Right.
the surface treatments won't help. So, with a lot of do it yourself hacks that are happening on social media, at times are creating more problem than solving it. On day to day basis, you see a lot of reels happening, TikTok, Instagram.
Right.
A lot of social influencers are actually both. They are generating awareness, but at the same time, their self-proclaimed do-it-yourself hacks are creating more problem. We are seeing a lot of many people coming with allergic reactions, irritant reactions, because pigmentation, yes, is becoming a problem for people because the social media is making people feel inferior at times just because of the fact that their skin has some issue. That anxiety or so inferiority complex at times creates more problems for us.
Got it. So you covered, some DIY hacks that we see on Instagram and other places very commonly, Dr. Laura. You're saying that there are people who come with side effects of those hacks as well to you. Which are the common ones which must be avoided, or some myths around these you could help our audience with?
Yes. Everybody these days is talking about exfoliation. So exfoliation, do scrub, physical, chemical. Use this apricot scrub, then rice scrub, sugar scrub, besan scrub, add lemon to it, add ginger to it, add onion to it. So these do it yourself hacks are actually, yes, a few of them do help on the areas which are having thicker skin like elbow, knee, ankle. Friction areas can tolerate, but if they are done more aggressively, if they are not finely ground, if the granules that are used in scrubs, if they are not uniformly sized or uniformly spherical, they create micro breaches in the skin. Those micro breaches in the skin permit more allergies to go inside, bacteria to penetrate, and that leads to allergic reactions and at times secondary infections. People, okay, blackheads are there, dead cell ho gaya hai, scrub kar lo. So acne, active acne and scrub. So it will lead to more spread of the bacteria on the surface. More bacteria on the surface means more inflammatory response. More inflammatory response means more chances of hyperpigmentation and scarring. So rather than doing any good to your skin, you are actually creating more problem to your skin. So do it yourself hacks are good to an extent, but it's basically your kitchen pantry is not your pharmacy. You can't just use
Right.
everything and anything on the skin.
Correct.
So
In the name of
be a bit more
natural.
careful. And
Yes.
one common thing, like my fellow colleagues have also encountered, lime लगा दो, lemon लगा दो face पे. So विटामिन सी भी मिलेगा, एसिड भी होगा, स्किन साफ. But actually the pH of lime is way lower than what our skin's natural pH is. So it burns. It sensitizes the skin to light as well as plant allergens. So we come across phytophotodermatitis, what we call it as. So स्किन इम्प्रूव नहीं हुआ, एलर्जीज, पिगमेंटेशन, डैमेज ज़्यादा हुआ.
Got it. So the DIY hacks must not be
Pinch of salt,
entertained.
or rather a big pot of salt. So because it's not easy,
Right.
there's a lot of standardization which needs to be done, and there's a lot of individualization which has to be done. So before you kind of get into any kind of natural or hack, you should talk to your clinical specialist to clear it from him whether this is something which will suit your skin or not. Not every skin accepts it.
Right. And all of these DIY hacks are very generalized as well, Dr. Laura. They're not personalized to your skin type and the issues you are facing or you have faced in the past. So, very well said. So, scrubs, as you mentioned, are they even required at all for the facial skin?
Very infrequent,
Hmm.
gentle, good spherical beads done are okay. But with that, a good moisturizing and a good protection. Because when you are scrubbing, you are removing the superficial most buffer layer which body creates, which helps in creating barrier between the environment and the light.
Right. You're removing the protection
Yes,
actually.
you're
So, when you
removing.
say infrequent, you mean weekly, monthly?
It depends on how much exposure do you have. So
Got
if you
it.
are frequently exposed to light and pollution, and if you do a more frequent scrub, you are more likely to have problems, because
Got it.
the frequent scrub means more removal of damaged layer. But at the same time, if it is not protected optimally, and every time you scrub, you are removing the barrier, and if your body is not able to repair it, so again, in the background, your diet plays a role. So, because scrub doesn't know that whether the skin is getting repaired or not,
Hmm.
it will just exfoliate. Exfoliation, if combined with the repair and protection, it's good. But if exfoliation is not combined with good repair and good protection, it will take your skin downhill. It will make it worse rather than improving it.
Great. So, what I'm taking away is that, exfoliation should be done under clinical guidance. Otherwise, it can.
Not necessarily clinical guidance, it should be with optimum protection.
Got
A
it.
good protection, good moisturizing, and a good sunscreen. If combined, it is okay.
Right. And Dr. Laura, you said your pantry is not your pharmacy, which is a great statement I'm taking away. But are there natural ingredients in the kitchen which you may also sometimes prescribe or are generally safe for the larger audience?
There are a lot of things which are there
Hmm.
in pantry which can definitely help you, both if ingested properly and
Right.
applied. Yes, rice powder
Hmm.
with a bit of honey, all these things are fine on the skin. Honey being a hygroscopic thing, hygroscopic means something which absorbs the moisture from the atmosphere, which will pull the moisture from the deeper skin, will definitely improve in hydrating it. But excess again is sugar. So on the sugar on the surface can, if it is not properly cleaned off and if it is not followed by good protection, yes, it can create problem. Besan, if properly ground, it should not be coarse. It can be used as a good exfoliator. Indian conventional besan haldi and malai ka uptan. It's a good one, safe, provided that you don't have a significantly oily skin or an acne prone skin. There, if it done overdone, yes, it can trigger acne. But in dry skin, these uptans are good. They can help in improving the luminosity of the skin also.
Great. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Laura. There is one query we're repeatedly getting from the audience, so I think it's better to address the elephant in the room, and it's around acne, right? So the queries are around reasons for frequent acne. Should one go for aesthetic treatment for acne? What are the ingredients which help reduce acne frequency?
Okay. Yes, acne is common. It used to be that by age of 20, 25 years, acne will stop. But no, these days we are encountering people with 30 years, 35 years of acne, people coming with acne. And in 13, 14 years of age also, the frequency and severity of acne has increased. They are coming with bigger acne lesions. Grades have kind of increased. Grade 3, grade 4 acne is seen more frequently in younger kids as compared like 14, 15 years also. A lot to do with the environment and lifestyle and diet. Because the way we are living our lives is influencing everything. The kids who are in 16, 17, 18 years of age, they have so much of pressure, academic pressure, which is kind of affecting their diet, which is affecting their sleep. Obviously, it will affect their hormones, it will affect their nutrition, which eventually will reflect on the skin. People who are going out to work, they have their own stresses, job pressures, targets. So टाइम नहीं है न्यूट्रिशन के लिए, फूड के लिए टाइम नहीं है. दैट्स द फर्स्ट बेसिक फंडामेंटल नीड फॉर विच वी गो आउट टू वर्क, बट उसके लिए टाइम नहीं है. सो what happens, the body has to manifest. Then everything is being used on the face. People are layering their skin with toner, moisturizer, sunscreen, then hyaluronic acid, then glycolic acid, then lactic acid. So a lot of preparations which are not designed for every individual are being used because Instagram said so, Facebook said so, friends said so, so I started using. And now everything is culminating into manifestation. So acne treatment needs to be more individualized. Age group has to be taken into consideration because a lot of medicines which are used in acne treatment are not safe before certain ages and not safe for females who are of childbearing age or likely to have child. So those things, men with certain medical issues cannot be prescribed certain medications. So even topicals also which are used in actives, used in acne treatments, are having their indications and contraindications. So acne treatment cannot be a one size fits all. But yes, there are certain things which fit to everybody, which include ensuring that diet is as low calorie, as low carbohydrate as possible. A good fiber diet will ensure that your gut is healthy. If your gut is healthy, whatever food that you put in will get better processed and body will have more nutritional resources to support. When everything has been taken care of, your body will pay attention to your skin also. So whatever you eat commensurate with your diet. If your physical effort is optimally compensated, if your mental effort is optimally compensated, everything will work fine for your skin. So, a good night's sleep, a good basic skin care, which can involve even like cleansing, moisturizing, and protection, in a way will help in kind of reducing the severity of acne. Then there are a lot of actives which are there: benzoyl peroxide, antibacterials, retinols, which involve like adapalene, tretinoin, all these things. They do help, they work, but they have to be individualized. It cannot be a one size fits all.
And what about aesthetic treatments, Dr. Lohra?
Yes, a lot of treatments are available. They do help in improving the outcome. They improve the extent of therapeutic maxima that we can achieve. We can expedite the recovery. The severity of acne can be reduced faster with the uses of glycolic peels, salicylic peels. These are these lasers are also which are helping in reducing the acne. You would be surprised. Blue light, which we were talking about, is something which helps in acne also.
Wow.
Because it helps in reducing the Propionibacterium acnes bacteria which causes acne. So it has a positive side also. So aesthetic treatments do help, but there's an important aspect: aesthetic treatments in properly trained individual. If not done properly, they can actually cause more problems. Why? Because the actives which are used, like glycolic, salicylic acid peels, they are potent exfoliators. If the exfoliation that is happening to the skin goes beyond a certain extent, it will burn the skin. And we are colored people. We have hyperactive melanocytes. Any inflammation which goes beyond body's ability to handle will lead to more color, more scarring. Aesthetic treatments have helped a lot in improving the appearance of individuals, but they have to be done under proper guidance and proper supervision.
Got it.
Because we have a lot of over the counter peels which are available, do it yourself home peels, but can I keep it safe for 5 minutes? But it says 5 minutes only. I should keep it for 10 minutes. It will be better. and it burns.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go beyond the advised do it yourself suggestions, it will have untoward effects.
Got it.
And our skin is not actually able to tolerate these things as the Western skin tolerates.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain differences, structural differences which are there. So products coming from West don't necessarily mean that they will be same efficacy, same safety profile as the Western skin is.
So the entire, popularity around K beauty has to be dealt with little carefully.
Okay, so there's a huge difference between the way we consume nutrition and the Koreans consume.
Hmm.
The Korean diet has a lot more balance.
Yes,
They
seafood.
consume a lot of seafood, which is rich in protein, a lot of omega 3, so that helps.
Mm-hmm.
So, K products, yes, a few of them are wonderful. Snail mucin introduced by the K Korean products is good, it helps, but again, we have to be careful about what we are using, how frequently, how much, how do we use. So, there has to be certain individualization, but it's not necessary that everybody has to go to a doctor to kind of get a skincare regime.
Mm-hmm.
Go gentle,
Got it.
gradual increment. Everything should not be done in one go. Test, go for practical patch tests. And then once your skin accepts it, then go for full face. Otherwise, there can be issues.
Okay, so we were discussing the self care regimes in between this segment, Dr. Lohra. So, what is a safe self care routine without naming any products? But if you can tell us about the ingredients, basis the age, type of skin, what is safe to use?
Okay, so when we talk of safe practices, fundamental principle is keep your skin clean, moisturize, and protect. So when we talk of cleaning, any facial cleanser which leaves your skin dry is not appropriate for you. So, depending on your dry skin, oily skin, sensitive skin, choose a facial cleanser. It can be a non foaming cleanser, it can be a foaming cleanser, it can be a gentle exfoliating cleanser, depending on your skin type and your day to day exposure. So, if you hardly step out of your home, then you don't need an exfoliating face wash on a daily basis, because eventually it will kind of make your skin more sensitive. Depending on the skin type, normal, oily, dry, choose a moisturizer which can be a basic water based lotion or can be a cream based, depending on how your skin feels after having washed your skin. So if you feel when you wake up in the morning, if you feel your skin is tight, stretched, yes, you need a cream based moisturizer. If you when you wake up in the morning, if you feel your skin is full of oil, then you should be looking for gel based or lotion based moisturizers. Again, the sunscreen also, one is very important. It should be a non-comedogenic. Any good sunscreen, if it is non-comedogenic, means something which doesn't block the oil glands or pores. It will be mentioning it on the skin. You should be kind of taking care of, as I mentioned earlier, also SPF, PA ratings or star ratings, so that you have a product which gives you optimum protection. So these are fundamental principles: cleanse, moisturize, protect. Cleanse, moisturize, protect. Multi-layering can be damaging. Using a lot of exfoliants, retinol भी यूज़ किया, glycolic acid भी यूज़ किया, lactic acid भी यूज़ किया, can actually do harm to skin. Then
Got it. But are there some of these active ingredients, you are actively prescribing in some skin types to be used sparingly and not to be layered?
look, glycolic acid, retinol, lactic acid, these are very frequently used actives in skin practice whenever we are dealing with any pigmentary issues or acne issues or age related skin changes, because without them we can't fix them. If you are looking at pigmentation, if you are looking at acne, there has to be some component of glycolic and lactic acid, because that is something which will improve the recycling of skin, reduce the blockade of oil glands, reduce the chances of new acne developing, reducing the scarring and all that. When we talk of anti-aging, retinol के बिना कुछ नहीं हो सकता. It's a mother molecule of all anti-aging things, because it will help in increasing the recycling, it will help in the remodeling of the collagen. So these are definitive ingredients, active, which are there in prescription based medicines, and they have to be there. It's just the fact that their therapeutic concentration and their over the counter concentration, they vary. So buffering means ensuring that whatever preparation is being used on the skin, if it is properly buffered, if it is properly pH balanced, if it is properly stabilized, it is less likely to cause the problems.
Got it. And what about these very popular ingredients these days, Dr. Lohra, like vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, niacinamide?
All these things have their own definitive roles. Hyaluronic acid, it's a wonderful molecule. It can hold around 1,000 times its body weight of moisturizing. So
Wow.
it's a natural moisturizer. But the hyaluronic acid in over the counter products or the cosmetic products, there are few points that we need to look into whenever we are buying it. So the natural hyaluronic acid is a big molecule. You can't push it across the skin. So products or broken down products, hydrolyzed hyaluronic acid came into picture, then sodium hyaluronate came into picture, then sodium acetylated hyaluronic came into picture, then ultra low molecular weight hyaluronic acid came into picture. So all these things increase the penetration of hyaluronic acid. So the difference between a routine cosmetic over the counter preparation and a slightly more expensive hyaluronic preparation will be this only. The concentration of hyaluronic acid varies, and that too, lower the molecular weight of hyaluronic acid, more the expensive the product. Because higher concentration of lower molecular weight hyaluronic acid means it will be able to penetrate to a deeper plane. It will be working as a more hydrating, more anti-aging as compared to a routine hyaluronic acid containing product. So when we buy a kind of OTC product and when we buy a definitive pharmaceutical product which has higher concentration, the outcome will be different. It's same hyaluronic acid, but
Okay.
which hyaluronic acid is being used will vary. And then vitamin C, L-ascorbic acid or ethyl ascorbic acid, these are two very active vitamin C ingredients. But until unless they are properly stabilized, until unless they are not properly formulated, they can cause irritation also. And in proper therapeutic concentration, they can do wonders, because again they will be able to penetrate the skin to a proper level, because these are active acids. So if the ingredients which are added to the stabilizing, if they are not proper, the therapeutic concentration will not be achieved. You are applying vitamin C, it's not doing anything. Why? Because it's not reaching the level where it should be.
Got it. So what we buy off the shelf may not have the right
Yes. So magnesium
formulation.
ascorbyl thing,
Right.
which is quite common in there, if the concentration is far too less than actually it should be, it won't penetrate. लगाया भी कुछ हुआ भी नहीं.
So it's placebo.
Yep.
Got it. And what about products like niacinamide?
Yeah, it's again a good preparation, works through acting as an anti-inflammatory, reducing pigmentary activity, regulating oil gland activity. So a good over-the-counter preparation. It is actually added to a lot of pharmaceutical products also. And along with it, there should always be a proper moisturizing thing, because it too will be acting as a mild exfoliant. Not very, but yes, it's a mild exfoliant. So good moisturizing and a good protection is
Got
needed.
it. Great. Dr. Laura, I know we have a lot of questions. We'll try to cover a few, but just jumping on to my last segment on some daily habits which may damage the skin, right? So, number one is shaving in men. Does it damage the skin? What are the do's and don'ts?
Okay. Shaving in men, it actually is a good thing also. It actually increases the exfoliation of dead skin, exfoliates and gives a better texture to the skin. But if not done properly, it can cause a lot of problems. So when it comes to shaving in men, there are few fundamental principles that one has to adhere to. One, ensure that while before shaving, you are helping your hair soften it. So a good shaving cream, gel, foam applied liberally, left on the skin for a while, so that the hair is softer when it is being shaved. So if the hair is soft, the chances of the skin coming off with it is far too less. Then obviously the razor. Razor care is a very important aspect, frequent change of razor, and at the same time keeping the razor in a proper place. Because when you are using a razor, if it is old, if it has been used multiple times, the chances that the blade might get blunt, it's eventually metal, it's a steel, so it will have an iron, so micro rusting will lead to compromise in the ability of blade to cut hair. So if it is not cutting properly, it is tugging on the hair, it is pulling the hair, that can lead to ingrown hair. Then if, because when you are shaving, a lot of cellular debris get adhered to the razor, and if it is not properly cleaned before every razor, every shave or after shave, then obviously those cellular debris will be acting as a ground for the bacteria to grow. So chances of acquiring infection, folliculitis, hair follicle infection is increasing. So a good shaving cream or gel of foam left on the skin for a reasonable time helps in softening the hair. A frequent change in the razor going along the grain, like the direction of hair growth, if you go opposite to it, trying for a closer shave at times can be problem, because if you are kind of exfoliating growth, you're opening the channel for the bacteria to grow.
Got it.
Post shaving, a good moisturizing and a protection from sun, if you're going out and all that, will definitely help in kind of making the shave a good experience.
Got it. And the second one is makeup in women.
It's an integral part of the vanity, and it will always be. It's always been there. Few fundamental principles we have to adhere to. One, buy the product which suits the skin. It's not necessary that an influencer has said a particular product is good, doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you. There might be a sponsorship involved. So buy a product after having done patch test or after having used it on a small area, and then go on lathering on the face. Use less layering. Although a lot of influencers claim about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers, but the more the layering, more the particles that you apply on the face, the more the chances of clogging your pores, more the chances of acne or breakouts. And at the same times, two different ingredients from two different products might not be compatible. You might develop an allergic reaction, you might develop an infection. And taking good care of your makeup products, keeping them for a long duration, not using them, might kind of deplete the preservative which was added to kind of stabilize them, might lead to bacterial growth, and then acquiring that bacterial on the skin might cause more problems. So product care, product selection is important. Otherwise, makeup is not a problem if done properly and not overdoing it. And don't go for post makeup exfoliation. Use a gentle cleanser. There are micellar waters which are available. You can take it on the cotton and remove that makeup, because, and after that you can use a face wash to cleanse your face. These days double cleansing is also something which is talked about a lot. You use a oil based cleanser and then go for an exfoliating face wash, but you don't need to use exfoliation on a regular basis, on a daily basis.
Especially after makeup. Micellar water is good,
Good
enough,
enough,
you're saying.
good enough.
Great. And the last one is peeling off eruptions or pores in the skin.
Peeling off.
Peeling off an eruption or a boil or an acne.
Okay. So I will explain it in a very simple manner. When you try to squeeze a balloon, some amount goes up, some down. So whenever you kind of pick an acne or try to squeeze it out, you are pushing the contents out, but at the same time you are pushing the contents into the deeper plane also. So it's a very delicate kind of oil and balloon kind of a thing which is there in the skin. So if it ruptures in the deeper plane, the contents which are there, which were confined to the oil glands, are released in the deeper plane. So those contents which contain bacteria also and cellular debris also will trigger an inflammatory response. The surrounding area will always be red, and that redness indicates body's inflammation, and inflammation leads to scarring and hyperpigmentation. We produce color. So that pigmentation will lead to more problems. So avoid manipulation. Don't squeeze them out. The more you squeeze, the more acne you get, because it will trigger inflammatory response. Surrounding organs will also be recruited. So no
Right.
manipulation, no
So
squeezing.
face is best not touched after your
Yes.
self-care regime. Great. And the last question I have before we jump to some queries from the audience, Dr. Laura, you mentioned that Koreans have great skin because they indulge in seafood, right? And unfortunately, as an Indian, our diet is a lot more on the carb side, chawal and wheat. So, how do you suggest we intake protein, or what is the significance, and how much is the right intake?
So Koreans consume rice also, but the quantum of rice and the protein that they consume, the balance needs to be there. In India also, we have a lot of vegetarian sources which we can kind of focus on, unless you individual does not have any issue with the dairy.
Right.
Dairy is not a problem. So dairy and skin, it's a very very long debate, and it's been going on for ages. uh, in India, dairy has always been an integral part of our diet. Yes, if the milk or the curd or the paneer is not laced with adulteration, it's good enough. We have to ensure the source that we are procuring from is not adulterated, and at the same time the cows or buffaloes which are kind of giving out milk is not kind of given hormones to increase the milk production. Then it's not much of a problem. So low fat milk can provide you protein, calcium and all that. Curd will provide probiotics, protein, calcium. Paneer will be having it. Then all lentils, beans, they are good sources. We have to balance out. Yes, to increase the protein content, we have to look for certain supplements also. Choose the select supplement properly, ensure the source is genuine. People who have issues with dairy, they can look for plant-based supplements. Reduce overall wheat, rice, bread, potato. Potato is not a problem, but lower content. Ghee, which is an integral part of Indian kitchen, is good enough. It provides a lot of omega-3. So fat is not a problem as long as you are able to burn it. So a physical activity will ensure that the calories that you are consuming are burnt and your appetite is maintained. So protein, these days people are kind of turning to egg, non-veg, but if consumed in a balanced diet, it can do wonders to the general well-being and at the same time skin also.
Great, Dr. Laura. I learned so much from you today. There are a plethora of questions. We'll try to cover a few. The first one is on laser treatments. Are they safe for the skin?
Yes, laser treatments these days are available for a lot of indications, from pigmentation to acne scarring to aging, hair reduction. If machine is chosen properly, if the individual who is doing it for you, if properly trained, then yes, lasers can do wonders. They help a lot, and they have helped a lot, and they have evolved a lot in the last 25 years that I have been seeing lasers. Newer technologies have been added. They are much safer than what they used to be, because now we are getting lasers which are designed more for colored skin. There were issues in the past because a lot of lasers which were coming in from west, where they were primarily for the white skin, and we were facing a lot of problems. But now lasers are much safer, they are more advanced, and in good hands, they are good tools.
Great. And then we have at least 10 plus questions on hair fall, reasons for hair fall in men and women, and how to deal with it.
Okay. So when we talk of hair fall, we basically categorize into three, four things: manageable and non-manageable. First is hair diseases. So there are a lot of hair diseases which can cause hair fall, but when we deal with diseases, the losses are usually in the form of patches. There will be bald patches on the scalp, scattered bald patches. There won't be a diffuse loss. So we have to deal with them separately. There can be different types of diseases which can cause. There can be hair root diseases, there can be skin diseases which can cause patchy losses. So their treatment goes along the classification. Then second is hormonal. Being male itself is not good for hair, but that goes something which can't be changed. Then stress, sleep disturbance influence hormones. Thyroid, diabetes influence hormones. And at times, hormonal medications are also taken in females, especially like to delay the periods. At times when they are taken, they have their effect on the hormones. Then the most common, which is easy to treat and commonly encountered, is nutrition. So deficiencies of iron, B12, folic acid, vitamin D, and certain trace elements like copper, manganese, all these things. And then obviously the protein, because the hair is made up of protein. And a commonly encountered problem, which is social media driven biotin thing. Biotin deficiency in Indians is not as common as it is kind of listed, because majority of the Indians consume vegetables or fruits, and biotin requirement is very less. It's 30 micrograms per day, which can very easily be kind of compensated through the diet. In West, biotin deficiency definitely is an issue where the consumption of animal food is way higher than what we have here. So biotin supplements, if taken in larger quantities, can actually interfere with the thyroid function, can trigger acne also. So biotin deficiency is not as common as the social media makes us believe. So these are the things. And then genetics, again, that is something which we can't change. So there's no point harping about it. So we should be working on the things which we can fix: diseases, lifestyle, and nutrition. And a lot of hair fall issues can be improved. They can be regrown. It's not so that hair which has fallen once won't grow back. No, it's not so. It does grow back with the
Right.
proper support and proper
And
treatment.
even with all this, if further help is required, what is the guidance on? People are asking for some tips on products to use or ingredients to apply.
So these days, a lot of preparations are available for hair, like Anagain, Procapil, Capexil. They are there in over-the-counter products also, hair care products which are available from a lot of cosmetic companies. Minoxidil is there now in a way that we have products which are over the counter also contain minoxidil. These products do help. They do help in growth. They have to be kind of used properly for a proper duration, and they have to be gradually tapered down to ensure that there's no sudden fall post stopping them. Hair care involves hair oil, hair shampoo. So hair oil, if applied a lot on the scalp, can actually cause more dandruff and all that. Hair oils on the surface, they act as conditioner. They help in kind of improving the texture. They help in minimizing the environmental damage. Application of oil and then subsequent shampooing helps in kind of dissolving the oil soluble impurities or pollutants and then washing them away, giving a hair better, cleaner texture and luster. And shampooing, there are few basic points that we need to look here. One, it should not leave your hair dry. Conditioners, they are basically quaternary ammonium compounds. They help in charging the hair positively, and as a consequence of the hair repels each other and it gives a volume kind of a thing. So they are good, and with the kind of environmental that we have, a good conditioning always helps in kind of maintaining the hair surface texture.
Got it. And does hair need sunscreen or sun mask as well?
Lesser the chemical exposure, better it is. So caps, hats will be more
Right.
effective.
Got it. The next one is on dark circles. I think we didn't cover this, Dr. Lohra. What is the reason for dark circles in certain people? How to deal with it?
Okay. Commonly encountered cosmetic concern. So the causes range from genetics to environment to nutrition to lifestyle. So genetics, yes. Metabolic, like people who have a relatively higher insulin resistance, or people who have vitamin B12 deficiency, iron deficiency, folic acid deficiency, will have issues. Genetically thinner skin can kind of create more luminosity and kind of give a darker circle. At times people don't have definitive dark skin, dark circles, but because of the shape of the orbit and the prominence of orbital ridges creates a kind of shade on the skin that kind of gives an apparent darkening, which actually is not there. Then environmental factors, sunlight, yes. Uses of screen, because the closer the screen, more the convergence. If the screen is relatively at a distance, your eye will be more relaxed and the chances of your blinking are more. When the screen comes closer, the convergence increases, the blinking frequency goes down. The blinking frequency goes down, the effort done by the muscles and the surrounding skin becomes worse. And skin being thinner, the waste that gets created affects the skin. So these are the factors, and taking care of good skin, like involving good moisturizing, relaxation, uses of sunscreen and sunshades when you go out, helps a lot.
So you're saying sunscreen has to be applied around the eyes as well?
Yeah, this is the thinnest part of the face. So it
Yes.
affects.
Right. I think that's a big myth because people usually avoid the skin areas, the eye area.
Actually, it should be protected more as compared to other areas because of the thinness of the skin. It doesn't have as much support as the other areas of the skin.
Got it. We'll just cover a couple more, Dr. Laura. This one is on supplements which are good for the skin. Any that you recommend usually?
For skin, we need a lot and lot of antioxidants. Why? Because there's a kind of term which is being coined these days: phytopollution synergy. So environment, light, and allergies, they cause a lot of damage to the skin. They lead to production of reactive oxygen species in the skin that leads to damage to the overall well-being of the skin. So if your diet contains a lot of color, lot of antioxidants, you actually help in reducing it. So every colored vegetable and fruit is good for skin. And then comes protein. And in protein, like cysteine and methionine, these are two amino acids which are very important and integral part of the wonder molecule glutathione, which everybody these days is talking about. Body produces its own glutathione, and glutathione is a very potent antioxidant. It helps in protecting overall system and skin as well. So if optimum amount of cysteine and methionine is there in the diet through the protein, you actually reduce the ability of reactive oxygen species to damage the skin, and the pigmentation any which ways gets reduced. The damage to the collagen gets minimized. So if things get less damaged or if they are repaired better, then it will help. So in winters especially, like carrots, tomato, beetroots, capsicum, bell peppers, pomegranate, oranges, more the merrier. So a lot of antioxidants and then combine it with good protein. It helps.
Great. I think there are a lot many questions which maybe we'll address through the team, Dr. Laura. Thank you so much for all the kind guidance you shared today. But any last minute advice you would like to give, which maybe I didn't cover so far?
So the most important advice would be that consider skin as an important integral system of your body, and it being the largest system of the body protects. So protect the skin, feed the skin. Feed the skin means if you are eating well, you are taking care of the skin. If you're protecting, if you're moisturizing, you are helping the skin. If you're protecting it from light and pollution, you are helping. And if you are sleeping well, you are actually reducing the tissue damage. All kinds of damages get repaired well in sleep. Because of the disturbed circadian rhythm that we are having these days, late nights, early mornings, because of the job pressures or not
OTT.
sleeping well properly, actually reduces the growth hormone production in the body, which is kind of an elixir. It repairs. Growth hormone is not necessarily for just growth. It's there in everybody's body. A good sleep releases it and helps in repairing every tissue that we have. So sleep, diet, protection, and your skin is good to go.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Laura. We had the head of sleep sciences from from the Gangaram Hospital recently, and he said a very similar line. He said if sleep was not necessary for humans, then God did a major blunder of wasting 10 hours of our life every day.
So again, a molecule called melatonin, which gets released by the body. It helps in regulating the sleep cycle. And the melatonin is influenced by blue light. So nature started the day with progressive increase in the blue light in sun, which stimulated our eyes, then stimulated the brain, and it worked well. And then as the day progressed, the sky changed from blue to orange and to red. So that change triggered a response in our eye, which conveyed the brain that the now day is ending. So release those hormones which will be compatible with the night, and that will induce sleep. But these days, that thing is gone.
So you're saying if you continue to be in front of a screen or your lights are on, then your brain doesn't trigger melatonin.
Yes, that affects the sleep. The quality of sleep gets affected. These days, people are lying in the bed with the room in the dark and the bright screen on the face. So it creates a kind of confusion for the brain. Karna kya hai? Sona hai, jagna hai.
Right.
So that delays or depletes the quantum of melatonin released in the body, which disturb the circadian rhythm, and it is a kind of very common cause of PCOD thing happening in the females because the circadian rhythm is gone. So when the hormonal balance goes out, metabolic disorders come into picture, and eventually the skin takes a hit.
It's outstanding, Dr. Lohra, how, in the 20 plus conversations I've had so far, the main focus is what we eat and how we sleep and, the physical movement.
Yeah.
Everything, every organ we have covered so far in the last 1 year has focused on that as a root cause or a, critical thing to focus on. So thank you so much for relating skin health to that as well, Dr. Lohra. It was a delightful conversation learning from you today
Thank you.
and understanding this very complex and confusing topic that is for our people. To our amazing audience, thank you for being with us. Hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did with Dr. Manmohan Lohra, a very renowned dermatologist based out of Gurgaon. Until next time, we'll see you again. Take care and take care of your skin.
Thank you.